Bismillah Rahman Rahim. This is subject of child development and it is lecture number 18. Today our topic is social development. The outlines of the lectures are introduction about the main topic and what is meant by social development, and then process and socialization, then learning in a socially learned ways, then there are some approved social roles, then we will discuss about factors contributing to social development, and then social development in early childhood. First of all, what is social development? Before going in detail, we have to see that what is meant by social development. Remember that social development means acquisition of the ability to behave in accordance with the social expectations. Social expectations means that you are being considered to have a gathering with your fellows, with your peers, and also the relationships with your persons live around you. So this is expectations that the people expect from a persons, that is due to social expectations the people keep from that persons. Becoming socialized involves three processes which, although they are separate and distinct, are so closely interrelated, and failure in any one of them will lower the individual's level of socialization. Processes in socialization. So what are the processes in the socializations? Learning to behave in socially approved by ways. Always remember that behaving with other persons, so this is also having some particular ways, and those are approved ways. Playing approved social roles. Always play or behave in a approved social roles. What are the approved social roles? Normally, as everybody get this social role, the way of social role from their religion, because every religion has some ethics to communicate with the persons and to take care of the persons in a particular way. The development of social attitudes. This is also in every religion, that how to behave with the persons, how to behave in your community, how to behave with your fellows, how to communicate with your friends. So this social attitudes is being developed by our seniors, by our parents, by our friends, by our peers, by our brothers and sisters. So these are the socially approved ways. Then learning to behave in a social approved by ways, like to become socialized, children must not only know what this approved behavior is, but they must also model their own behavior along the approved lines. If suppose I want to become a socialized, and how do I know that what are the approved ways? So definitely there would be some observations, like how the people get interacted with one another. So on observing or by telling someone, we learn the way of behaving with others and also with an approved ways, because normally in that society the people are going to acting They are adopting the ways whatever the society has told them. So every social group has its standards of what is approved behavior for its members. We can also observe by the different companies in Pakistan or in other countries that if their members are employed and if they are advertising or if they are dealing with the persons in a social setups, then if the people get irritated on different discussions, so even then they remain cool and calm. This is what this is actually because of the approved behavior that is told by their groups, by their certain companies. They already trained those persons that you are to behave in a particular behavior with the persons, and that's why their company or their industry may grow quickly. Now the playing approved social roles are there, and here every social group has its own pattern of customary behavior that are carefully defined and are expected by members of the group. Remember that when there is a group of any company or any organization, so they always define their own way of behaving. So that's why due to their customary way of behaving, everybody knows that how to behave with others. So there are approved roles, for example, for parents and the children's and for teachers and pupils. So for everyone, there are certain approved roles. So the group always define those rules, those behavioral patterns for their to their members to communicate with others. Now there is a development of social attitude. So this is to become socialized. For children must like people and social activities. If they do, they will make good social adjustment and be accepted as member of the social group with which they are identified. Then social and non-social people. So what is the difference between social and non-social? Social means that those people who have good behavior and their behavior reflects success in the three processes of socialization. As a result, they fit into the group with which they are identified and are accepted as a group members. If we have some groups, then we always accept those members which we think that they obey our rules and regulations and they follow our behavioral patterns. So this is what that the approved social persons, and if they are they fit themselves into the group, so those are being accepted by the social groups, and in the same way these people are also called the social people. Then gregarious people are social people and who crave the presence of others and are lonely when by themselves. So they are satisfied merely to be with others regardless of the nature of the contact. Non-social people are there, those people who their behavior does not reflect success in their three processes that characterize a social person. So when people don't have the contacts with other persons, and if they don't understand the behavioral pattern of a certain group, so those people are called non-social people. And there are unsocial people also. People are non-social people and they are also ignorant of what the social group expects, and as a result behave in a manner that falls short of social expectations. Because from the unsocial people, the people don't expect that they will behave in a particular way. Because of this, they are not accepted by the group and are forced to spend too much of their time in solitude. And this is one of the reasons that they often remain in solitude, just because of these reasons that they don't follow the rules or the behavioral pattern. Antisocial people are also there. These are basically non-social people who know what are the groups expect, but because of antagonistic attitudes toward people, they violate the group mores, and as a result, they are neglected or rejected by the group. So they such peoples, they know the role of the group, or they know how to behave, but even then, due to some factors, they don't react like that what the people expect from them, or what the group has assigned, or they have trained their own way of behaving. So these people are called antisocial people. Then there are some factors, those may contribute to the variations in social group influences, like acceptability to the group. This is one of the factors, that if you are going to join a group, so you must first of all accept the group. Then security of status. This is what that the people join group due to their security purpose, to show themselves that they belongs to certain groups also. And then the type of group, this also matters, that what type of group you are joining, and what is the worth of that group, and how can that group may support you in all respects of your regarding your life. Different members of the group, this is also one of the factors, that due to different members of that group, the people join the group, that here in that group they may meet with the different peoples of from the different areas. So in this way they can get their own way of their own jobs, or their own relationships also with the different people. Then personality also affect the group, and this is also one of the factors of social group, that due to a special persons having a particular personality, so the people like that group. Then affiliation motives, definitely this is one of the great motive, that people also look forward to the group, that from where they are affiliated, and how they may become the good for the people and for their members also. Then there is importance of early social experiences. What is the importance of early social experiences? Like early social experiences largely determine what sort of adult children will become, and predominantly happy experiences encourage the child to see more such experiences and to become a social person. Early social experiences may be with family members or with the people outside the home. So early experiences means that before going into the people of other than your family, so you may have the social experiences or social interactions with the persons who does not belong to your family, and normally seems to be from outside of the family. So this is what that experiences that you get out of your families. Then there is also some importance, that the family influences may be there on the personality of the individuals. Then outside influences may be there, that people get social experience from the outside, like if they go to schools, or if they go to colleges, universities, or if they go to different places like in academy, or in social places or public places where the people get interactions. Public parks may be there. So this is one of the factor, that's why this social experience is important for every life of the individuals. Then there is a effect of early social experience, because if there are some benefits, so also there are some effects of social experience on the life of individuals. So first of all, a persistence of the social behavior, and then consistency of the social attitude, that with the mingling up with the people, you would get the same attitudes, and definitely that attitudes may reflect from your personality also. Then effect on social participation, this is also one of the factors, that if you have social experience, then it may affect on the social participation, that whenever you go into such places like in any wedding ceremony or in social gathering or in friends gathering, friend parties, and whatever the people get interactions. So these may affect on the social participations. Effect on social acceptance also, because when we go to attend some parties, so sometimes people accept us due to our social experiences, but in different parties or the people don't like their even friends also, and this is just because of their social experience, that if the persons have don't social experience, then the people don't like that person, and that's why, and this also has effect on the social acceptance. The next, effect on the characteristics pattern of behavior. So this is one of the factor, that if you thoroughly or if you normally sit with the persons with a like in a good family, so the people like those due to their characteristics pattern of behavior. Then effect of personality is also there, that your personality is also one of prominent personality, maybe due to the social experiences, or maybe due to some education or due to some other reasons also. Then beginning of social behavior. How do we begin our social behavior? That during the first month or two of life, so they merely respond to stimuli in their environment, regardless of whether these stimuli come from people or objects. Then they do not, for example, distinguish clearly between people's voices and their noises. So socialization in the form of gregarious behavior begins around third month, when the third month starts, when babies where the babies can distinguish between people and objects in their environment, and when they respond differently to them. So due to their social experience with the persons in inside the family, so they behave in a different way. So then social development in early childhood, this is also there the difference, that from 2 to 6 years children learn that how to make social contact and how to get along with the people outside the home, especially children of their own age. And normally we have seen that the children are normally mix up themselves with those persons who are having their the age like that person. They learn to adopt themselves to others and how to cooperate in play activities. Early childhood is often called the pre-game age. Then social development is also in early childhood also, that relationship with adults, that young children spend less time with adults and derive less enjoyment from being with them with them. So at the same time, their interest in playmates of their own age increases, and enjoyments from being with them gets stronger. So relation with other children also, that before the age of 2 years, young children engage in solitary or parallel play. So their contacts consist primarily of imitating or watching in one another, or to attempting to take one's other toys. Then behavioral pattern in social situations during early childhood also, that in behavioral pattern is there may be a cooperation, then rivalry may be also, then generosity may be also, and desire for social approval, this may also be in social behavior. And then sympathy, that may also in the during childhood, and in early childhood empathy also the need of the age. Then dependency is also there, friendliness, and usefulness, unselfishness, and imitation, and attachment behavior also. In early childhood, there is also negativism, and aggressions may be also there, quarreling may also there, teasing and bullying also there, ascendant behavior is also there, egocentrism is also there, prejudice is also there, and sex antagonism, this is also there in that age. Then social development in the late childhood. In late childhood, what are upon beginning schools, children enter the gang age, and this is that age when social consciousness develop rapidly, and children become member of the peer group, which will gradually replace the family in its influences over their attitude and behavior. Then there are some characteristics of children's gangs, like gangs identify themselves by name, many of which are taken from the streets or neighborhood where the members live or from popular books, comics, or movies. So, gang members use secret signals, passwords, communication codes, or a private language to maintain their secrecy. Childhood gangs often use insignia, caps, armband, or other decorations to identify their members. So, gangs sometimes have initiations ceremonies to test a new member's skills or physical endurance to create loyalty within the group and to make each member feel important because of being accepted. And the preferred meeting place of the gang minimizes adult interferences and maximizes opportunities for favored gang activities. Girls usually meet close to the home while boys meet as far from homes as possible. So gang activities include all kind of group plays and entertainment, making things, annoying other people, exploring, and engaging in forbidding activities such as gambling, smoking, drinking, and experimenting with drugs. So social development may be at puberty, like with the beginning of puberty. This is also a stage of age that comes a change in social attitudes, like a decline in interest in group activities and tendency to prefer solitudes. So as puberty progresses and the rate of puberty changes, speed up, social attitudes and behavior becomes increasingly anti. And also, pubescent children sometimes have an antagonistic attitude toward everyone, and they go around with chips on their shoulders and sneers on their faces. Pubescent are even more aggressive than preschoolers, instigating fight with peers and criticizing, arguing, and finding fault with almost everything adults do. So, pubescent quarrel over most trivial matters and pick fights with the members of their gangs. So, criticizing whatever they do and delighting in hurting their feelings. As a result, many long standing friendships are broken. According to the pubescent children, social activities bore them, especially family gatherings and holiday celebrations. Pubescents spend much of their time in isolations, engaging in daydreams in which they play the role of martyrs or thinking about sex, exploring the genital organs, and masturbating. Pubescent children intentionally refuse to communicate with others except when necessary. So, when questioned, that they shut out other people by answering, "I can't remember," "I don't know," and so on. So, pubescent are often shy in the presence of all people, not only strangers. So, their shyness stems from anxiety over how others judge their changing bodies and their behavior. So, there are some hazards in social development, like social deprivations may be there, too much social participations may be there, over dependency may be there, over conformity may be there, non conformity may be there, and prejudice, and also pubescent antisocial behavior. So, this is all about this lecture. Take care. Allah Hafiz.